Oh, excuse the noise, just put my headphones on. Welcome to Elite Dangerous. Now, first and most important thing about Elite is your joystick configuration. Without your joystick configured properly, you are screwed. To make life even more difficult for myself, I'm using a Cyborg Mad Catz PlayStation 3 wireless controller. It's the Fly 9? Fly 9, yes, Fly 9. Issues I originally thought I'd have with this controller are that it's not compatible with Windows. I was pleasantly mistaken. Only downside is the hat and the directional stick on the directional pad, like on a PlayStation, are the same thing when they're in one of the two modes. The other mode turns the throttle into something weird, so we're not going to go there. So the moment we're set for generic joystick, what we're going to do is look at the various settings and setting up this joystick to something reasonably sensible. And also flying so that we can test the settings that we're using as well. Not worried about mouse axis XI. Mouse look, we'll leave mouse look on because that could come in handy. Flight, Yaw Axis is fine. I don't think we need to invert that. Turning left or right, the Yaw Axis. Now this is where I have to try and work out what yaw and pitch actually is. Yaw Axis is a twist. It's the Z axis, so I can rotate my controller, swings left and right without normal aircraft flight, the rudder basically. Joystick left and right, that seems about right. We may need to come back and invert the yaw axis, but we'll worry about that in a little while. Thrust axis. Now, thrust's an interesting one because this controller has a zero zone in the middle, so we can go forwards and backwards, or just set it to purely forwards thrust. I like a bit of control for both, so we use the RZ axis for that. Various other buttons, anything of any use? Possibly. We may come back and add things as we fly. Landing overrides, we'll keep them as default, mainly so that we don't get confused. What we do want is lateral thrust. Left and right thrust. We have a little hat in the middle of the joystick, so we shall try and use that. That's not working. Why is that not working? Are we in the right mode? Yes. That's not working. Why? Vertical thrust. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's a little annoying, because that is one thing I particularly like about this. Maybe that only works in mode 1. Let's try that. Let me just reset these. Yaw axis, flight rotation. No, it's all going horribly wrong. Switch back to mode 2. Yaw axis, Z axis, X axis, Y axis. Lateral thrust, left and right. No, these are buttons, right? Because it's on the stick, because it's the same as the D-pad. It's not variable like a normal joystick. Pull back, left, right, throttle, that sort of thing. It turns itself into a button. So to thrust left, we push left. To thrust right, we push right. To thrust up, we push up. To thrust down, guess what? We push down. Throttle. Now we need to bring up weapons and landing gear, that sort of thing. Engine boost, a useful button to have access to reasonably easy. Let's escape on that, put that back to tab. I'm going to use one of the two front buttons for this. frame shift drive, we're going to put that on there as well, so I don't have to keep reaching for the keyboard. Enable frame shift drive to super cruise. We'll leave it as that, see what happens. Target ship ahead, we shall use the button to the left, no, right of the hat. Next ship, the one directly below that. We'll ignore the rest, we're not that bothered. Primary fire, secondary fire, the left of the hat. Cycle next fire group, we don't use them just yet. Deploy hard points, we shall use the button just below secondary fire, so we can put them away in relatively easy timing. Silent run in, we'll leave that on the keyboard for now. Ship lights, we'll put that on the start button. Where's landing gear? Landing gear, we shall put landing gear on the bottom button so we can access it without messing about. And I think we'll give that a try, see what's happening there. Excuse the frame rate in places, it's only a 650 Ti. Seems pretty good. We've recently changed the monitor, so we've got a slightly higher resolution, 1900 by 1200. Not fantastic for gaming. As myself, I like a nice 1080p, but I'll take what I can get. So that's the throttle working. That's forwards and backwards. We shall center that to 0. Landing gear should be here. Landing gear lights have been. Landing gear light has come up, deployed. Let's turn ship lights on.
Landing gear deployed.
We can't see the ship lights. Let's see if mouse look will show us anything. I can hear lights, so we should assume the lights are working. Let's turn mouse look off for a moment. Boost. Good to know that works.
Frame shift drive.
Frame shift drive works. Hard points have deployed. Hard points have retracted. Not going to worry too much about firing at the moment because we'll only upset somebody. Let's try some thrust maneuvers. Thrusting up does appear to make us move up. Because it's not too restrictive, it also allows left and right. I wonder how much we have to push that up before that starts working. It does, but I'm only pushing up a little bit, and it's as if the button's been pushed fully down. So that's no catastrophe. Just need to be careful of that when in combat. Down's working, left's working, right's working. We're twisting the wrong way in our yaw. So that's the only one we need to change. Eventually let us in the control menu. So we need to invert that, or not invert that axis, because for some reason it's always turned on. And resume, just test that again. Turn left, turn right. And there we have controls inside Elite Dangerous. Be sure to check back, like, subscribe if you're that interested. Always helps. Comments if necessary, things I've missed, things I've done wrong. That's it for now. Thank you very much.